on the CV, it's definitely really important to make sure you have a good amount of detail on the CV. I know there's the cliche of keeping it to a couple of pages. Generally, that's probably not enough in my experience. I'd say 2 to 3 pages, with at least a page being focused on your deals or your matters. So you want to try and have at least an A4 page, but how much space it takes to set out 7 to 10 of your matters in a good amount of detail. So you can see the examples we've given. So this is the level of detail you need to go into for 7 to 10 matters. The reason I say 7 to 10 is because if you get to that level, it's going to help really build the picture of your experience, and you can sell your experience well on paper in enough detail. And 2, anything beyond that can start to make it more tough for you when you have to prepare for interviews, because everything you've got listed on your CV is fair game to be discussed in an interview. So if your CV looks like War and Peace and you've got 40 pages of A4 on your matters, you have to be able to talk in forensic detail about each of those matters, because the partners who are interviewing you could raise anything they want on your CV. So to play it safe, go for 7 to 10 matters and just give a good amount of detail on each one. So the trick to drafting a good quality CV is not just to list the matter and what happened on the matter, list company names if you can, list values if you can do that as well if it's not confidential. The really important thing is to make sure that you give good detail about specifically what you did in the matter. So you can see on the litigation one, the last sentence here goes into the experience of what this person actually did on their matter. Exactly the same for the corporate role here. You want to work on the basis that anyone who's reading this needs to know exactly what you've done on each matter. And if you give that good level of detail, it's going to really help sell your experience. And it's also going to give a good foundation, which you can then expand upon when you come to interview. So that's the main tips for drafting the CV. Obviously, you include the normal CV boilerplate stuff around your education, a short personal profile if you want to include that, all the stuff you generally see the CV, but the real focus and where you should put the primary amounts of effort is on the experience, because that's what the partners are going to go to first and definitely care about the most.